2 and 1. It's me again. Yeah, just some more stuff on my mind. Thoughts and night off. So I'm making some videos to post. This is my Friday night. So I've got like 3 or 4 videos I'm going to try to do tonight. And this is one of them. I just made that video on the deaths of the disciples and implications to us Christians. And then I digressed tremendously, unfortunately, like I always do. Something I need to work on. This is not in the Bible. This has not anything to do with the Bible, or does it? You know, I don't think it flies against the Bible, but if you do, I don't think the Bible is God's word for us here and our lives on earth. I don't think the Bible is supposed to, I don't think it covers everything about God and heaven and the kingdom and the universe and relationships, and it doesn't cover everything in a paper book written in English. But it's an instruction manual and such, and a love letter in ways to us. So this isn't in the Bible, but I'm saying it could be true. It might not. But I thought about the topic of true love. Love at first sight and soulmates. Reminds me of that old Beatles song, "Do you believe in love at first sight? Yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time." Right? Well, it happened to me once. Love at first sight. And when you actually meet someone, and it's like you feel like you've known them forever. He's like, you. And they look at you and they have the same exact feelings. You. And, chemistry, boom. That doesn't happen all the time. A lot of people, when they fall in love with somebody, it's a little bit of a process. But and sometimes somebody looks at somebody and they think it's love at first sight, but it's lust at first sight. Lust and love, two different things, at least in this discussion. Love at first sight. And that happened to me with Jen, and she felt the exact same way as I did. First sight. When we met, and we both admitted there was something at work here unnatural between us, because it didn't seem like a match made in heaven on the surface. But this was 2 days after I was certain. I heard God's voice say to me when I was praying about a relationship. He said, "I have someone very special for you. But first," he said, "you must dismiss the other." I was in another relationship that was drifting apart. I wasn't married. It was a girlfriend. But I don't want to talk about that here because I'm still friends with this person. They're a great person and a great friend. But we weren't. Yeah, I won't go into that. But I did hear God's voice say to me, and I don't care what anybody thinks, obviously, on this channel. But he said, "I have someone very special for you. But first you must dismiss the other." And I'm like, whoa. Well, I thought that was something. But I really didn't dwell on it a lot. But I thought that sounds like the same voice I heard when I was 12. Only twice in my life I've had this happen. So I don't go around hearing voices, of God and stuff. And I met her 2 days later, and I wasn't looking for anybody. I wasn't. Neither was she. And we just saw each other and just, boom. Fireworks. And I didn't think it was a good idea, the relationship, for different reasons. And I resisted it because I was like 20 years older than her, quite frankly. And I didn't think it was a good idea. And I'd wind up outliving her. You don't know what life has for you. But she insisted. She insisted. She says, no, no. She said, we could have something wonderful together. I remember that. It was a hard year. I read this, Shakespeare said, the course of true love never did run easy. I think that's Much Ado About Nothing, I believe. I like Shakespeare. I need to get back into that. The course of true love never did run easy. And that was definitely true with her and I. But love at first sight. Boom. And I had that episode 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3, no more than 3, probably 2 days before. I have someone very special for you. just like that. I did really good on that. He had that kind of accent. Honestly, he had almost like a New York City Yiddish accent. I'm just being honest with you. I don't care how it sounds. I can say that he does, but that's how he sounded. I have someone very special for you. But first you must dismiss the other. So, love at first sight. Yes, it can happen. And was she someone very special for me? I definitely say yes, but he never said it was going to run easy or last forever in this walk on earth. Which made me think today, when I was driving home from work, I got like a 35, 40-minute commute one way through the countryside. And I like driving my car. I've got a little Audi. I like driving it. Good cruiser. Nice little car. I was thinking, you know what? The way God said, I have someone special for you. He knows me. He knew her. You know, on surface, she wasn't anything fancy. She was, though. She had something about her. And I told God, you know what? God likes plain, ordinary people. You don't got to be a knockout or a genius. Nothing wrong if you are extremely beautiful or handsome, got good looks, witty, got all the things going on. She didn't really, but there's something about her. And God knows this. God appreciates these things. And I thought, well, God knew me and knew that she would be somebody very special for me. And maybe her and I knew each other. I mean, I guess this hinges on whether you think we existed before our birth. I think we did. And I know that may go against the scripture here or there. I'm not saying we did, but I'm inclined to think we are eternal beings. I mean, God said he knew us before we were born. And makes me wonder, and this may not be scriptural, and if you say, not Sam, that's all right, thank you, but I incline to think that perhaps we are, and maybe her and I have known each other quite a bit, throughout the ages. I mean, God owns the universe, all creations, and all time, and time doesn't exist, and what are the possibilities, scenarios that he could set you up into? What are the scenarios? And God knows what's good. Let him be the architect of your life and your love. Trust him. I'm learning this. A lot of good came out of this isolation for me. I'm finally starting to realize that I've been completely alone except with a sick dog who needs your prayers. I've exhausted a lot of money on vet visits and medicines and diets, and nothing seems to be helping this poor guy. His skin is just, and ears are just red. But God knows, I've been alone, and I don't like it. I wound up isolated, really, except for this. This is why I'm on here. If I had a bunch going on in my life, social stuff, or a partner, or family around me, I probably wouldn't be making these videos, most of them. So I'm connecting here. This is my conversation about what's on my mind. Maybe he had a reason for it. A reason for everything. I mean, she died recently, but it was going to happen anyway. You know, it's all temporary here. One goes before the other. And, I just got some chills about something. I'm going to talk about it. Maybe this brings me on to soulmates. I don't know, but I always said you're not guaranteed to find your soulmate here. Some people leave their husband or their wife because they don't feel that they're their soulmate. That's wrong. You know, you could think you're with your soulmate and they could be your worst enemy. What's a soulmate? Soulmate, like your soul match. Soul as in this world and beyond this world. We're always together through eternity. We're like soul partners traveling through God's kingdom together, apart, together, apart, together again. Different lives and stuff. Soulmate, right? Your best friend, your soulmate, your partner. Man and woman, male and female, I say, but well, I could hope, I could ask God, I have asked God, and I'm not ashamed to say it, Father, if it's your will, I'd like to meet her again. And, set us up again, some other scenario, somewhere else, obviously not here. She's gone, I accept that. She's gone from here, and I accept that, I do. It's a process, a grieving process. But there's a lot of people I would like to meet again. She's not the only one. But I definitely want to meet her again. And, I've never had God say, I have someone very special for you 2 days before I meet her. And when I do meet her, we both lay eyes on each other and boom, we're inseparable. And when we are apart, we're miserable. When we met, and then the world just wore her down. It beat that woman down. And that's life, though, isn't it? It beat her down. So, what are your thoughts on love at first sight? Or soulmates? I've said to people, it's not your life mission here to meet your soulmate necessarily. If you do, hey, that's a good thing. But it's not guaranteed. I've known people that gone their whole lives without ever really meeting their soulmate for sure. I've known people that died young, that died virgins, let alone find their soulmate or get married or any of that. Like God, that in the army, the guy's getting killed. I knew these people. That guy never even had sex. He didn't even have a girlfriend yet. Apparently that wasn't his life mission. I thought about it. Apparently that's not always our life mission, is to look for our true love, I mean, if it was, I don't think God would allow young people to die. And sometimes you can be an adult and he's calling you to himself to serve him. Like Paul said, it's better we stay single. So I wasn't looking for anybody. And then I met her, and it was love at first sight. Very powerful. And she felt the same thing instantly. As soon as she laid eyes on me. And when we met, it was really, the feeling was, it was weird, which makes me wonder, have we known each other before? Because we both had the feeling like delighted. Like we knew each other somehow, but we didn't. That's love at first sight. That's how it happens. It's your soulmate. I think it's your soulmate, maybe. Don't drive yourself nuts over this. I don't know. There's nothing in the Bible that says this. And I could be wrong. But in my experience, and a few other people I've seen, it just caused me to speculate. This is speculative thinking. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's not. It's just a thought, because we had love at first sight instantly, very powerful, and we both felt like we'd known each other big time in a good way. Like it's you. Again, you. And she had the same feelings. So Do we have soulmates? Are they here with us in this walk? Maybe, maybe not. You may get that, you may not get it. This is just a brief walk here from our. It's just a very brief. Maybe if you have a soulmate, maybe they're not here. Maybe they're waiting patiently for you while you do what you have to do here. Do God's will. Live your life out. Tell people about Jesus. Tell your testimony. And just live your life out. And when somebody like my soulmate suddenly leaves, it hurts. There's a loss, and it really messes with my head. Trying to accept it still. And it's been a little over a month and a half. You know, but I understand. I've got to move on. That's just life. I got to pick myself up, dust myself off, say my prayers, definitely, and I stand by my prayers on it. I stand by my prayers and get on with my life, you know, whatever's left of it at my age. And, yeah, keep praying to God and, you know, trust it to God. What better hands to put a situation like your soulmate or somebody you love very much that dies? What better place to leave it in God's hands? He loved her too. Obviously, like when he said she was someone special, so he saw it too, though she was a very plain person, a lot of people would think, in some ways, and she wasn't a socialite. But those that knew her were really taken by her. She made a lot of people happy. She made a lot of us grieve too. That's all right. You get in the ring to do the dance, you know, you've got to pay the fiddler. Eventually, it seems. So, I like to think that her and I have known each other before and we'll know each other again. And anybody that watches this that knows me and they're like, gee, you know, who knows? Maybe there'll be somebody down the road for me. I don't know. But, all right, where am I going with it? I think I've said it all 3 times over. So that's that. I like to think I know there's love at first sight. I experienced it. And so did she when she saw me. Are we soulmates? I don't know. Honestly. I don't know if I believe that or not. That we've been through the eternities together as matchups, you know, in different, whatever God has. There's nothing in the Bible that says that. I know that. But like I said, I don't think the Bible tells us everything about the kingdom of heaven, which we belong to. It doesn't tell us everything, does it, about our existence. It tells us what we need to know from God while we're here. We don't need to know what ghosts are, and there are ghosts in the Bible, a few, not many. That's just one of the mysteries in life. You know, it makes it kind of interesting. Like, what was that? And we become ghosts, and we know. It's about the only way we'll ever know. I've encountered him so many times, I still don't know what it's all about. Someday I'm going to know. Just like a lot of people I know now are spirit. I've just rambled on. But yes, I believe in love at first sight. And the fact that we both had this feeling, strong feeling initially, that we knew each other, and we were delighted to meet again, you know, like, you. And she's like, you. Like, wow, we're here we are again, you know, the feeling. And we met. And it made me wonder about that soulmate thing. It's a nice thought. You know what? God, we belong to God. He knows what's good for us. He invented love and romance two genders. You know, God has a sense of humor, and He definitely has a sense of art. And God loves love, and He loves family. He even invented sex and such. And the Bible tells us where that's right, good, and where it's being misused, you know, or it can be not a good thing. But, you know, he's the architect, the designer, the artist, the creator, the owner, the father. And if it's good for me, and he puts his stamp of approval on it, you know, send it out. You know he's going to think of some good things for you and me, here and in the hereafter. He's going to set us up with some wonderful things. Things that we don't even try to figure it out, because if we designed our own lives, you know, don't even try. Let God be the architect of your life and your love. And here and the hereafter. And I think, again, that if it's good, and I believe God believes love and romance is good, and friendship and families are good, He's going to, you're going to see that again, that theme, I think. And who knows, use your imagination. I'm trying to say something, but I can't put it into words. But I think you get what I'm saying. That there could be a untold gazillion good scenarios that you could be in with people you love. You know, all over the place. Who knows? All things are possible with God. All right, that's all. Thank you. And good night. Good morning. Good year.